as I said, Monday night we are talking about oils and oily products for work, because the reality is for most of us that a large chunk of our life is made up of work, isn't it, really? So, and that has all kinds of benefits, but also all kinds of stresses attached to it. Did you find work stressful, or do you find work stressful sometimes?
Depends what work I'm doing.
Okay, obviously we can't talk too much because we might lose our jobs. No. But I think for most people, work can be stressful. And so we want to talk about, well, I'm going to actually talk about some of the things that I use to make work better and to overcome some of the challenges that I have at work.
Yep. So we're going to talk about stress, we're going to talk about energy levels, we're going to talk about focus and concentration.
Yep.
So that can be difficult.
How to beat that afternoon slump.
Yep. And what to do when you have to touch stuff that other people have touched.
Yep. And also what to do if you're not sleeping well.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge thing. All right, I'm going to roll the music. Here we go.
I can see why you're attracted to each other. Why? Because we've got these cool glasses.
Because we're both really nerdy.
Let me know if you think I should definitely get glasses. Maybe I'll just take some more Illuminize.
I think you should get glasses because you keep not recognizing who I am. Let's talk about oils at work.
I forgot what we were doing. I need some peppermint and lemon.
Yeah, well, it is. It's the end of a long day, isn't it?
Oils at work. Oils at work. And oils at work.
Oils at work.
Right.
Oils at work. All right. Okay, so do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so I wish I'd known all this stuff earlier, because the thing is, often coping with stress, or my experience has been coping with stress often leads to unhealthy behaviors and unhealthy choices to get through. So I'm just going to, in no particular order, okay? One of the things that I used to struggle with when I was teaching, especially, was the afternoon slump. Flat out busy in the morning, eat lunch, or sometimes eat lunch, not always, and then there was that afternoon slump that hit about 1:30, 2 o'clock, where not only were my students falling asleep, but I was too. And so to overcome that, I would go for a super sugary, highly caffeinated drink, and which worked in the short term, but left me feeling pretty crappy afterwards. So I want to trade that out to something healthier. So I'm going to ask my secretary here, what are some alternatives that you could give me for beating the afternoon slump?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that you were talking about drinking the stuff in the red can, but maybe you were talking about stuff in those other really tall black cans. And
I never went that hardcore, but yeah, but definitely the stuff in the red can. Yeah.
So obviously, if you want a suitable replacement for that, then Young Living has Zing. Okay, it's not exactly an oil, although it does have oils in it for flavouring, like black pepper. But Zing is great. It has that natural caffeine, so you get that boost without the bad side effects of most sugary energy drinks. And best of all, it's only like, I don't know, I think it's
6 calories or something.
26, I think.
Okay, it's
next
super
to
low in
nothing.
calories.
So and great natural, no nasties in there. You can also opt for Ninja Red. On the days that I don't drink Ninja Red in the morning, I find by 3 o'clock I am ready to have an afternoon nap. So I always have a sachet have the bottles in the fridge, and I have the sachets in my handbag. So if I'm out somewhere and I need to have another shot, I just grab a Ninja Red sachet.
But I find, and I think you do too, if we start the day with 60 mils of Ninja, then that afternoon slump actually disappeared for me. So I really don't struggle with that. Unless I haven't slept well, and we'll come to that in a sec. Other fast ways of dealing with the afternoon slump, or just if you're feeling just a little bit flat and a bit down, one of the best ones I love is peppermint to
pep me up.
And how would you use it? What would you do with peppermint?
I mean, basically you can just do like a little scent tent, put a drop in your hand, energize it. We always energize our oils 3 times around and hold it away from the nose. Remember that peppermint's a bit makes your eyes water and stuff, but I do like to put it on my temples, but it's not for everybody. Certainly when I'm putting it on the girls, on their temples, their eyes are watering and stuff, and they don't like it. So you can also put it on the backs of your neck and behind your ears, even on your wrists, obviously diffuser jewelry, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, awesome. Another one which I like to use, and this is also a good one for an early morning start, and that's the oil blend Energy. Now, I've used that when I've had to get up early to do work. I also do use it sometimes at work, and people use this different ways. Like, how do you use it?
I like to put it on my adrenals. So your adrenals are tiny little glands that sit on top of your kidneys. So I put a few drops in my hand, rub it around, and then put it, it's basically just below your bra line, but if you're a guy, you don't wear a bra.
Hard
so
to do when you're a guy.
But,
rarely wear a bra.
Yeah, but that's where I put it on my, like on my adrenals.
Yeah, so I actually dab it, believe it or not, just behind each ear. And I've got no idea what the physiology of that is, but it works for me. So Energy is another one, and I feel like that's kind of a longer term thing. That really gives you a longer term boost. I want to add one more thing to that while we're talking about all these kind of things, because often I'll pair Energy with Clarity. Now that's a small bottle, normally it comes in a 15 ml. But again, Clarity is fantastic for those times when you need extra concentration, you need clarity about what you're doing. Again, I used to use it early morning with Energy. Same deal. It just wakes you up even to smell it.
I know Jeremy's talking about giving energy, but these are also some of the oils that I use for focus. So if I have to focus on a task, like maybe I'm downloading reports and having to, do Excel spreadsheets or databases or anything like that, then Clarity, Peppermint and Lemon are my go-tos. Like they help me to focus and be able to concentrate for long periods of time. So I'll put Clarity in the diffuser. Today I've had Motivation in the diffuser because I really needed to get a lot of stuff done. So Motivation was there, but and also Brain Power. I mean, you can't go past Brain Power, even just putting a little bit on the end of your nose. But once again, doing that scent tent thing to breathe in the Brain Power. I know a lot of you have got stories about even putting Brain Power in the locus coeruleus, which is that little point at the top of your spine, and rubbing it around in there because it gets straight in through all the nerve centers and stuff like that into your brain and gives you brain power.
Now, I'm always fascinated to have conversations with people because when they see me at work and I'm using oils, some people go, wow, oils, that's so interesting. But some people are doing the cynical, I'm a bit of a hippie woo-woo. Whatever works for you, that's fine, but, it's not for me sort of thing. Now, the fact is that it's not just imaginary that this stuff increases your concentration and improves your focus and wakes you up and makes you more alert. Like, this stuff is scientifically documented, isn't it?
Well,
really?
And particularly
because it's working straight on your brain.
Yeah, particularly lemon and peppermint.
Yeah.
You can go and Google, all these studies that have been done on people like accountants who, have to do the same data entry type processes, and they did it without lemon and peppermint and with lemon and peppermint, and they found amazing results. So it's worthwhile even investing in one of the USB diffusers to have at your desk. The thing that I used to find when I worked in an office was, people don't really like the smells of lavender. There's always someone in the office who doesn't like lavender, and there's always someone in the office who doesn't like Clarity or whatever else, Brain Power. But lemon seems to be a smell that's pretty universal. All cleaning products smell like lemon. So I used to find that when I was working in an office, I could diffuse lemon without any problems. So, and I just had one of the the orb diffuser was always on my desk, but we don't sell those anymore, but the USB diffuser, so that it's just enough to scent the area around you.
Another great one, which is similar, I think, is orange. Again, it's a scent that people, they like, and orange makes you happy. And it really, again, there's plenty of evidence and research that shows how orange can lift your mood. It helps you feel less anxious. And again, an awesome one. And I guess I'm at the point now where I'm going to ask the people in my staff room, how would you feel if I brought in a diffuser? I'm prepared for them to say no, but I'm hoping that they'll say, yeah, let's give it a try and see. That's all you can do sometimes. But of course, the other thing is just to wear this stuff on yourself and be a human diffuser.
And that's what I used to do. I used to wear Harmony. For many of you know that I used to work for back then it was called Department of Community Services, Child Protection. And, obviously we used to have a lot of unhappy clients come into the office, and even some of the staff were a little bit unhappy about their work environment. So I used to wear Harmony, and I used to put it on my heart every day, and I was like a human diffuser. But even putting it on diffuser jewelry and stuff, so.
Okay, now we talked about the office environment or work environment can be stressful. People are under a lot of pressure. relationships can get complicated, all that sort of stuff. So I've got a bunch of things in my arsenal that I use to bring the stress level down. So where do you think I'm going to start? What do you think is my first?
I'm thinking
go-to?
stress away.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a bit of a no-brainer. I actually like the roll-ons because they're just easy to access and easy to use. If I can get... Oh, this one's really...
I think it's an old one. You should
It is
go
an
for
old
one of the new
one.
ones.
I've got the new one, but it's actually at school. But yeah, stress away, holiday in a bottle, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
But,
if you can't go on holidays.
Yeah.
Or I saw Kerry Castledine said she's back at work tomorrow from her holidays. Maybe
Yeah.
she should take some stress away with her.
the good thing about stress away I've found is I've never found anyone who said, ooh, I don't like that. People love the smell of stress away. So, and I find that I often share stress away in the staff room especially. But also I find that students really like it. If I'm wearing it, they'll go, what do you smell of, Mr. T? That smells really good. So again, you can be the human diffuser with that. Now, so that's stress away, that's one. What else did I have here? Oh, the other one that I was thinking of is, nope, not that. Where is it? It's gone. Oh, there we go. Now, sometimes I know at my work things can be a little difficult. If we have difficult students, the classroom can be quite confronting sometimes. And so I find often my go-to oil, especially in the morning, is Valor. Now, tell me about Valor, or tell us about Valor.
So the thing about Valor is that Gary got the idea because he read a story. Because a lot of Young Living's oils are based on stories that Gary read. You know, he also has a lot of oil blends that are based on, you know, the science and stuff like that. But things like Valor was based on a story that he read about Roman soldiers bathing in certain plants and botanicals before they went into battle to give them courage. So that's where Valor came in. And, you know, we've since changed the recipe a little bit because we couldn't include rosewood anymore. But basically it's an oil for courage. So if you need an extra bit of courage to maybe give a presentation, to ask the boss for a pay rise, to deal with difficult customers, whatever it might be, then Valor is your go-to.
Yep. If you're thinking you need to be empowered, that's what I would say. If you need to be empowered, Valor's a great place to go. One other one which I like to have with me is White Angelica. And if you'd asked me a few years ago, I would have gone, ooh, this sounds way too hippie woo-woo. But it's great for protecting you or dealing with negative energy. Because the thing is, you know, if you're in a conflict situation or things are going pear-shaped or whatever, you can actually, you know, you can go home carrying all this negativity and negative energy, and unfortunately that ends up flowing out to your partner or your family or the people around you. So I don't know quite why this is so magical, but White Angelica really seems to have something about it that is great for either protecting you from that negative energy, so it kind of just bounces off, or getting rid of it after you've gone through those things.
Yeah, and it's, the thing about oil blends that Young Living makes isn't just about the individual oils. It is about the synergy between the oils when they mix together and the frequency that is created once that synergy happens. So, you know, you might have certain oils in a blend that by themselves they do one thing, but when they're combined together they have a super extra powerfulness, and you know, they have really high frequencies and can protect our energy. So it's kind of like if you do any energy work and you protect yourself with white light, or maybe use some sage or something like that to smudge yourself, you can actually do it with the White Angelica. So just put a few drops in your hand and rub it through your aura.
Coming from a science background, that actually makes perfect sense to me now. I can't explain it, but I just know it's worked. Okay, another issue which I've definitely experienced through the years is when I've had, you know, high expectations and when there's been a lot of stress, my sleep patterns start to get interrupted, and I find myself waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm worried about stuff. So getting a good night's sleep fixes so many issues and lowers your stress levels and makes you, you know, lowers your anxiety levels, all those things. Here are two. This is our 1-2 punch, isn't it? So we've got tranquil and dirty socks.
Rudavella. The other thing is that often when you've been on holidays, your sleep patterns get out of whack because you stay up later at night, you're sleeping in the morning, and it's difficult to get back into a routine. So many of you know that we usually travel a lot. I take these particularly when I travel because I put the Rudavella on and then I put the Tranquil on, and it's like it tells my body it's now time to sleep. Even if I'm on a totally different time zone, it helps me to get adjusted. So
yeah,
there you go.
So those two, if you are having trouble sleeping, there's a great way to, both of those, either individually or together, a great combination.
Yeah.
All right, what else have we got?
All right, I just want to talk about Thieves. Often we have to go into offices where we share phones or desks, or maybe you work at a Coles supermarket, or some kind of place where you're dealing with customers and you're touching money and you're touching stuff that other people have touched. Well, obviously the Thieves hand sanitizer, but I really, really love the Thieves spray, because what I used to do when I had to share a desk, because I used to travel between offices and I'd have to pick up phones and stuff like that, was to just give it a quick spray with the Thieves spray. You can also use the Thieves spray on your hands as well, but you can spray down all kinds of things that you might be touching that other people have come in contact with. So it's a great thing for that. The other thing that I used to always have in my desk drawer at work was a Salique bar, because you just never know when you're going to have to skip lunch. So there was always a Salique bar in my desk drawer, or even in my I used to do a lot of driving, so I used to have it in the glove box or even in my handbag, so that I could have a quick healthy snack rather than reaching for a chocolate or something bad for me.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we've talked about this yet, have we? No. So, if you're sitting down at your desk for long periods of time, and I was actually just talking to my daughter earlier today, and she's actually at a standing desk, so that's a whole lot better. But people say that sitting is like the new smoking. That's how bad it is for us. And I know I used to find that my back would start getting a little bit stiff, and I was kind of ready to need to stretch and stuff. But when things got bad, I would go for Panaway. So Panaway is awesome for those tired muscles and relieving some of that back. But the problem with Panaway, and it works fantastically well, is what does it smell like?
I think it smells like men's locker rooms, but everyone can smell it when you're in the office. If you put it on your back or your neck or anything, everyone's like, oh, who's got Tiger Balm or Deep? Yeah,
Deep. So my sneaky hack for that is I actually use some Copaiba and rub that on, which it doesn't smell, it doesn't have a really distinctive smell, so it's good, but it still does the job, I find, especially for tired muscles and stuff.
I'm actually getting a headache from having these glasses.
Okay, so I think that's everything. I'm sure you guys have your own favorite oils for work and whatever your business is. We love to hear about them, so put them in the comments. And if you know of people who could be helped by this stuff, then please tag them in or pass it on. That'd be awesome. You'll also find it on our YouTube channel, The Hot Oily Mama. Subscribe as well.
He's very hot today in her glasses.
Yeah, but we hope that's been helpful for you.
All right, we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.